Wike, you're a bastard.
Guys, I just want to talk quickly about what is going on in Nigeria. A few days ago we saw Governor Iweka destroying some kind of nice building in the city, in the country. People, reckon that Iweka has such a good credential that whatever he did, he will be allowed to do that. But you just have to understand how law works. When a country begins to practice lawlessness, it's very hard for people to survive there. Iweke's scenario tells us what a federal government is all about. In a country that the state governors do whatever they want, in a country that the state governors don't care what people feel like, the president too don't care what the state government is doing. That's why we talk about accountability. You have to always have accountability in whatever you do. Okay? Buhari have flawed the law. He doesn't respect the law. Buhari actually engaged in demolishing some houses in Abuja. This nobody talks about. While Buhari is doing those things, the Senate, the House of Assembly members, none of them hold him accountable. The governor starts the same thing. Every fight did the same thing, destroy houses in the northern side of Nigeria. Nobody talks about it. They actually appreciate him for doing that. Iweka first destroy mosques in the River State. Nobody talks about it. The people actually support Iweka. Again, then you find out that the same Iweka went by and abused elders. African will take pride on entitlement. They abused some of the elders. Some of them actually refer to them as they actually refer to some as his younger friends or people when they were young. Iweka also refers to some of the elders in their community as people when they were young and they are not capable of doing they are not capable of being a king, or he does not have the guts to even call them king because of their upbringing, or because he knows them when they were young, or some of them took the title by money. While all these things may not have legal ground to abuse someone, Iweka deserves to be, apprehended or deserves to be conscious.
Sadness over what Nyesom Wike is doing in River State. People must talk out. People must speak out. What nonsense! How can you destroy somebody's hotel simply because you are a governor? What nonsense governor is that one? Who are you? What nonsense! If somebody offends the law or contravenes the regulations, why can't you seal up the place? You destroy somebody's sweat because you are a governor, just a governor and not a more. What nonsense governor are you? Wike, you are very useless. You are stupid. It's only in River State you can do that nonsense. It's only in River State you can do that nonsense. How will you feel if you own a hotel like that and someone comes and destroys it? How will you feel? Are you the only governor in Nigeria? Are you the only governor in Nigeria? What nonsense? What madness is in you?
You cannot live in a country where the governor, flawed the law with nothing to, write home about. You can't go in and destroy buildings someone built for many years. It's a source of income. Yes, the reason Iweka gave that the guy flawed the law, he asked people not to come out or to participate, or people not to open up during the COVID-19 shutdown. But he breached the law and party in the hotel. His security man asked the guy to shut the hotel down. The guy refused to shut the hotel down. According to Iweka, the guy attempted to kill some of the policemen or some of the security officers that came to shut the place down. So Iweka was so upset that he came with those men instantly and destroyed the house of this bloke down. Destroyed the house of this man down.
I woke up this afternoon to hear the news of Wike demolishing people's properties. And I ask, what has befallen us as Rivers people? Are we hypnotized? What is happening to us? What are we scared of? What is happening? Is it that Wike is above the law or nobody can call Wike to order? All the other statesmen that are around Wike, you see them running around him. Is it that they don't talk to him or he doesn't hear them? The Abia Sekibos, the Osinoparas, the Glory Emes, the OCJ Kochas, what is happening? Who is Nyesom Wike? Why is everybody afraid of Nyesom Wike? Why would Wike demolish someone's property? Has Wike done business in his entire life before?
Governor Wike is one state governor I respect and admire so much. In fact, I love his political prowess. I love his style of governance. And I still wouldn't come out here to tell you that I like the fact that Wike demolished that hotel in his state.
Is that how the law works? Is that not jungle justice? I challenge anyone that may see such a thing as something that you will support. I have a problem. I have a big problem when I heard, the IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu supporting such a behavior, or I saw some young lady coming out to support such a behavior. That makes me worry. What kind of generation are we trying to build onto? Even when you have the Biafra today with such a mentality, it's the same thing with Nigeria. I had even some part of Biafrans are actually backing Wike up, saying that, El-Rufai flawed the law, the president fraud the law. Okay, you say El-Rufai is from the northern side of Nigeria. You are against the northern side of Nigeria. You are against the president who is from the northern side of Nigeria. And you are practicing the same thing they are practicing. So what is the need of you going for Biafra? Like I said, I have this problem with Nnamdi Kanu mentality. Because what happens that he gives the IPOB member the flashy, he has not given them detail what the Western life that he's telling them is all about. Where you want people to have the good health care, have the good road, have the good hospital, have the good light. That means you're capable, you equally want people to obey the law. So in such a thing, you should be arising to condemn what Wike did. He can do a lot of ways. He can do that in a lot of ways. He's a governor. He can seek with innovative power. He can seal up the area and seek for court injunction either to destroy it or to preserve it or to keep it for something else. Equally, he can also seek for security arrest of that individual or declare him wanted as he ran away. You can find him. You may use that place for another thing, something else. If it's no longer in the state can declare the whole place state of emergency and state can use it for something good. Iwe can give a school that place can be destroyed for something else. This is not something we needed to hear. We want good governance where the laws are respected, where people can be able to do things that others will admire. Nnamdi Kanu should stop supporting something that is not good. It's not logical. We look at Iweka's scenario. It's something that I so much find offended. If anybody can come over to support such a habit, I think it will be something that you or anyone should be against on.
It is very unfortunate. It is shameful. I challenge Wike. If he tries that to anybody that is related to me, I have my siblings, they own hotels. Let Wike go and demolish any or do anything to stop my business. And then he would see that if he's untouchable, that something will touch him.
People must speak out. You say all the vehicles you see, you must auction all of them. Somebody has contravened the regulations, COVID-19, blah, blah, blah. You send bulldozers to destroy someone's hotel. Are you mad? Are you stupid?
You shouldn't support such a wrong thing.
If I am to advise Wike, I could have given him this methodology to sanction offenders in his state, which is 1. Instead of demolishing the hotel, he could have confiscated the hotel or turned the hotel into a temporal isolation center. And the vehicles Wike impounded for auctioning, he could have used the vehicle for temporal COVID-19 ambulance. In other words, he could have sanctioned the offenders the hard way. That is to say, the people of Rivers will have to learn the hard way. The strategies could have been better instead of demolishing it.
we should always be able to maintain, the law. It's kind of very, very, very disturbing when you find Iweka, who claimed to be a graduate of law, a barrister, breaking the law. Is saying where is the hope for the nation? So the nation is definitely in trouble if the senior officers will be breaking the law, if the governors will be breaking the law. We need to be mindful of what's happening. Nnamdi Kanu supporting Iweka in this position, it makes me to worry so much, his own ideology and his own, ways of articulating things. I find a young lady who is very eloquent. I give her credit for her speech too, but the way she positioned the whole thing, and it doesn't make sense. We should always be able to stand in the law. We should always be able to defend the law. We should always be able to make sure the governors elected in the southeast and the southeast and south obey the law. They should not practice the way other the northerners that you guys are against are practicing. We should also make sure that those in the western side of Nigeria obey the law. Let them be a role model. If you believe the law, northerners are not doing the right thing, the west, the southeast, the south side, they should obey the law and be a role model to others. You have to be a role model. And a role model is very important in a governorship, so that when he go out, history may remember him. We just wanted to make sure that the country is aware of the implication of all this Iweka is doing. Iweka tenure in governorship may have maybe 3 or 4 years more left. And after that, you never know who will go in. We see what happened with Rochas. Rochas thought maybe he would be there forever. He tried to create a dynasty. When Emeka Ihedioha came, he decided to, tackle him. Unfortunately, he couldn't last long. Hope Uzodimma was there now. The same thing can happen to Iweka. When you remember about Bakule, the former Senate President of Nigeria, when his father was controlling Kwara State, everything belongs to them. But at long last, what happened? The Kwara State was taken over by another government who decided to destroy the family house.
Ask that people should rise, because if we don't condemn this and if we don't stand and challenge him at this time, Wike will go worse than this.
Rochas wanted to try it with me. When he said he would destroy my house, he wanted to build road. He had his own 2 houses near my own, but he wanted to destroy my own. I said, try it. I was praying that night for him to try it, so that I will demolish all his houses in the whole of Imo State, including his own his living home.
So we have to question Iweka. We have to make sure that Iweka did not flood the law. The Eastern governors should be able to obey the law. They should be able to set role model. They should be able to give people the cause to blame the Northerners for the instability of the government. They should be able to practice what the Western world practice. We shouldn't give a reason because the Northerners flawed the law, then the Easterners decide to flood the law. Then where is the role model? Why are you campaigning for for separatists, or why are you campaigning for freedom? You want freedom because you think that what others are doing is not what you need to do. We need to make sure that the governors are following the protocols. They are following the legislated law. They should not act based on emotion or based on anger. They should allow the course of the law to operate. If Iweka does not have trust for the legal system of Rivers State, why can't he make sure that those in the position there are those that uphold the law? He's a law graduate, so he has to practice what he studied. In fact, I expected him to respect the law to the core as somebody who specializes in such an area. You begin to worry. Even in Nigeria, you find that even the vice president of Nigeria is a law graduate, is a professor of law, for God's sake. And still, the country is totally messed. No advice, no legal advice, nothing. Everybody's operating on his own. I'll be the last to support Iweka, no matter how creditable or no matter how credential that he has to be there. When you fear the law, you need to be apprehended. You need to be conscious. That's the thing. Nnamdi Kanu should not stand up, or anybody should stand up and defend Iweka for doing such a thing. Even when you send your security men to arrest somebody, when they kill somebody, it does not mean that you should go there or put the whole house. You should also reinforce. Even him going there is actually a very disturbing thing. All you have to do is to reinforce and make sure that they have the competence, the backup they needed to attack this person and arrest him. You seal up the area, until courts, until court decide. Let justice system reign. If you influence the court to do the right thing, it's all to you. But let the justice system reign. That's what we want to. You cannot say because he ran away, then you decide to destroy the whole place because he shot somebody. Listen, in the Western world, some criminals, when you go to arrest them, they actually fire and kill police officers. The house they are in cannot be destroyed. What they do, they took them away. They face the consequence. They face the legal consequence. Do you know if the family may benefit from that place? So you wanted to shot this guy, shot his own generation, those that does not partake to his crime. So it's a fair government. Your attitude, your behavior shows that you are a fair government. I don't understand your law. And the young lady that came out to defend you, I must advise you, young lady, please, you are very eloquent. You are very articulating. I want you to use it for positive. Don't go by emotion. Don't go because he has done something or because the Northerners are doing something. Be able to tackle those things as it is. Also, I expect Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB leader. I expect all, even the Oduduwa leader or the Arewa, I expect people to begin to speak up for the one nation or for your own nation, or for your own benefit or for your children. Begin to speak up so that people will do the right thing. They should stop taking advantage because they are elected. You will not be in power all years. What happened may affect them 20, 30 years coming. You may not know that guy's son or daughter or brother or relative may become governor in 4 to 5 years or 10 years or 20 years time. They may have this grudge and come to fight back. And that time may not be good. It may be bloody. So we have to do the right thing when we have the opportunity to do those things. Problem is that when people make mistakes, because of their credential, we actually allow them. Yes, even when we take care of their goodness or their good thing, we still have to caution them to do the right thing. If that Iweka was conscious when he destroyed the mosques, he will not do this. If Buhari was conscious when he's destroying things, Buhari will not follow the law. Because Buhari can actually do whatever he wants in Nigeria. Nobody cares for Buhari today. He can do whatever he feel like. We have to be careful how we back up all these things. I wish you guys, understand and follow the law. In Western nation, it doesn't matter who you are. Once you break the law, you break the law. Once you break the law, you face the consequence. They fine you for breaking the law. They will not look onto things you have done before. Yes, if they take those things into account, they may give you a shorter sentence. Not that you will not face the consequence because you break law against the state or against the country. It's not against individual. When that guy shot those officers, it becomes a criminal law against the state or against the nation. So all you have to do is to make sure that you apprehend him. When you apprehend him, you present him before the law, the justice system, and have faith that the justice system that is here will sentence him either to life jail imprisonment or allow the defendant to defend himself, to say why. If they are threatened before, we only hear one side of the story. You have to be able, even a murderer, even a criminal, they also, I know you guys know what happened in New Zealand last time, where about 50 people were killed. Do you know that the guy was arrested and taken to court? He pleaded not guilty, but recently he pleaded guilty. He still have that fair trial. You want to be, when you go out, you want to be remembered as someone who obey the law, who follow the justice system. So this is what we want to see, the campaign you are campaigning. Thank you. Lord, the future you see.